on Twitter, so I thought it was really interesting, so I wanted to make a video about it. Quick shout out to the two Uber comrades on Patreon supporting this channel and this content. My partner and Independent Left News, who should be coming on the channel on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 Pacific Standard. So as you can see, the title of the thread, Standard of Living in the Soviet Union. Cool pictures. We got Lenin there. I don't know who those other two folks are, but good stuff. In 1913, the last year for which I have data for Tsarist Russia, the Human Development Index was of 0.12. In 1970, the HDI of Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic was 0.05, which is 4.2 times higher. By 1990, it reached 0.52, slightly lower than that of the US and the UK. And that says historical human development of Russia. Just how much that really just rocketed up during their revolution. I just think that is so cool looking. Alright, on to the next one. The Russian Empire had a GDP per capita of 2,825 in 1913. By 1989, the Soviet Union reached its historical maximum with a 20,389 per capita. The USSR multiplied its GDP per capita by 4.5 times compared to the US. It's pretty impressive. Pretty nice little flags there. Lenin, my man. Cool stuff. Good. On to the next one. As the Gini coefficient, the lower the more equal distribution of income, it went from 0.55 in 1905 under Tsarism to 0.28 in 1988 under socialism, and increased under capitalism to 0.55. So again, things became much more unequal under the capitalist system. Whereas in the US, the index was 0.37 in 1986, 0.38 in 1991, and 0.41 in 2019. So, again, the USSR had a more equal distribution of income than in the US. Not anything surprising there, but by a decent margin. Comrades there, boy Lenin. Nice. Another of the achievements of socialism in the USSR was its healthcare system, which was completely free. Something we still don't have in the United States is universal healthcare, and had very high quality standards. Life expectancy in 1990 was 30.5 years in Tsarist Russia, lower than the world's average by 32 years at the time. While in the USSR, life expectancy increased to 59.4 years in 1953 and 68.4 years in 65, 15.2 years higher than the world's average after the adoption of a market economy. So getting away from socialism, going towards a capitalist system. The average expectation in Russia fell considerably, being in 2002 3.8 years lower in 1987. So switching to this market economy, adopting this capitalist system, took literally 4 years off the people's lives. In 15 years, the people are living 4 years less as a result of the adoption of this market economy. Pretty incredible, but not not super surprising, honestly. Now 1913, under Tsarism, 269 out of every 1,000 infants died. It's almost 25%, right? Died before reaching the year of life. By 1985, this number dropped to 22 out of 1,000. This means that in 72 years, the child mortality rate fell by more than 12 times. In 1970, USSR had the highest proportion of doctors per inhabitant in the world. I believe that honor now lies with Cuba, right? With 23.8 doctors for every 10,000 people, compared to 15.8 in the U.S. Furthermore, the USSR brought healthcare to the most inhospitable places that previously could not enjoy the service. In addition, the USSR managed to completely eradicate diseases such as smallpox, plague, cholera, or malaria, and greatly reduce the incidence of poliomyelitis, diphtheria, or whooping cough within its territory. Good for them. Education system, which was free and universal. Again, something we still don't have in the United States. They had this in the USSR. Again, it's really showing how in a lot of ways their social welfare system was so much more advanced than the United States, both then and now. The U.S. still hasn't caught up with any of this stuff. 1987, the literacy rate for people between 9 and 49 years old was 28.4. By 1939, the literacy rate in the USSR became 87.4. By 1970, illiteracy was finally eradicated. So not only did they have universal health care, they also had universal education. Work conditions. Pre-revolution Russian worked 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, between 60 and 72 hours a week. That's a lot of fucking work. One of the first decrees adopted immediately after the October Revolution in 1917 was one that established the 8 hours working day. Down there at the shipyard. Not sure. Doing some welding, it looks like. All kinds of cool stuff. 1973, the minimum wage was 70 rubles, double that of 1963, and by 84 it rose to 185. Percentage of Soviet workers who could be considered to have insufficient income decreased from 86.9 in 1946, right after World War II, to 4.85 in 1986. Wow. 1905, Tsarist Russia, the richest 1% owned 17.99% of total income. This percentage reached a historical low of 3.5% in 1980 of socialism, and increased again, of course, to 20.24 in 2015 after adoption of capitalism. So you just see quality of life, material conditions were improving steadily, rapidly, frankly, for everybody in USSR. Once they went back to a capitalist system, what happened? All of those gains went away quite quickly, right? Women began taking an active role in Soviet society. In USSR, women made up almost a third of all judges and parliament members and 70% of all doctors. By 1974, 80% of working-age Soviet women had a job, compared to only 50% in the U.S. Male retirement in the USSR were at 60 years old, so several years earlier than here in the U.S., or 25 years of service. And female retirements were at 55 years old, or 20 years of service. For comparison, the retirement age in the U.S., Spain, Canada, UK, Finland, Netherlands was 65 years old. It's still pretty standard here in the U.S. Pensioners received half their last salary, being able to reach 60% in some occasions. They were exempt from paying taxes. As early as 1939, USSR became the only country where citizens enjoyed material support in old age, as well as in case of illness or disability. Guaranteed vacations, something else we still don't have in the U.S. We're between 12 and 48 days per year. In addition to unemployment in the USSR, is practically non-existent through its history. For example, despite reforms toward towards a market economy. Unemployment in the USSR was 0.1% in 1991. Material level, 32% had a television by 1985. 99% had a TV. This goes for home construction. Look at this. This is really shocking, frankly. The rental price of state apartments remained unchanged since 1928 in the USSR. In 1985, on average, Soviet families spent 3% of their income on rent, compared to between 20 and 30% spent by the Americans and British families. And that's definitely very true in the U.S. The housing prices have just skyrocketed as of late. Soviet diet was better. This talks about how they're able to get more calories under Soviet Russia. Market economy, so adoption of capitalism, that decreased. And here's the citations. I'm at 40% my income for rent. There's their citations. Kudos to Oktyabar, Soviet things and proletarian internationalism. And there's their bibliography with their sources. There you go. Look at that. Universal healthcare, universal education, guaranteed vacations, only spending on average 3% on your income, 8-hour workday, literacy rate, life expectancy was going up, inequality was going down, income, per capita income was going up, just all these great things, these great achievements, that the USSR experienced. These probably would be some good books to check out, right? I mean, they even got very mainstream sources like the CIA in there. So good stuff. Kudos to Oktyabar for this. This is really good work. Definitely go give this person a follow. I did last night after I saw this thread. Really good stuff, and they have a lot of other cool things on their timeline as well. So like the video if you like the damn video. Subscribe for more content. All part of the people. Become a patron if you're so inclined. Link down below. Peace. Much love.